We're going to speak now to one school group who follows the CBSE curriculum. That is the Indian high school group of schools. And I'm joined now by their CEO, Punit Vasu. Hi, Punit. Thanks so much for joining me on the agenda today.
Katie, good to see you once again.
Yes, very, very good. And thanks for joining me to talk through this important topic. If you could start by explaining, Punit, what's changed this year in terms of CBSE Class 12 papers and the way that they're being marked now.
So the CBSE is a very, very progressive examination board. And this year they decided, like you rightly mentioned, to implement the OSM. Which is the on-screen marking system, which essentially allows markers and invigilators to mark the scripts that have been scanned digitally. So this is the first time that the CBSE has implemented this scheme. Katie, let's talk about the sheer volume of examination scripts that we're talking about. We're talking about almost 9.8 million scripts that have to be graded. So it's a pretty large volume. And like you mentioned earlier, these were typically graded manually, and this is the first time that scanned copies have been marked digitally. So that's essentially what has changed.
And with that, it comes as, perhaps it could be more accurate if they're being scanned and marked, not manually. But there are concerns amongst some students and their parents that this could make way for errors. Why are some students asking for reevaluation this year? And is this happening at your schools?
So we haven't seen such a significant increase in requests for reevaluation. But I must chip in and add over here that the examination scripts are still graded by human markers. So it's not that there's an AI system or a digital system that is actually marking. What has changed is that previously the examination scripts were graded manually or physically, right? And this time they are being graded digitally with a scanned version that is uploaded, and then the marker or the grader puts the marks digitally onto the digitally uploaded examination script. Now, you asked a very, very pertinent question. Why is it that some students and parents are concerned? Naturally, if you do anything for the first time, there's bound to be some kind of a change, and there's bound to be a learning curve. And that's what the CBSE has experienced, because not every scanner may have the same digital capacity and the digital clarity like the other. So what the CBSE has experienced is some of the scripts that have been scanned aren't very legible. Secondly, also talking about a situation, was adequate training and was there enough of a lead time given to the trainers, the markers, to be able to grade it using the OSM system, right? And thirdly, if you obviously can't see the scripts clearly, then what is it that they were able to grade and what is it that they were not able to grade? These are primarily some of the reasons why there has been increasing concerns among parents and students about the new system.
And if they are concerned about the new system, how can you help students decide, whether to apply for re-verification or re-evaluation?
So definitely it's a right of a student and a parent if they want to apply for re-evaluation. CBSE has a very, very streamlined, seamless process where you apply through an online link. And it's pretty much open to everybody who feels that they have a right and they feel that they should have had a better score. So I think the CBSE is very, very open and transparent in having a very, very nice system. Where we come in is naturally our counseling team, our well-being team, they pretty much advise the students as to if they strongly feel, then it is very much within their right to opt for that. Right, but obviously it comes, with risks. There's a risk and a reward system. So if you do go for your reevaluation, and if your scores happen to be then lower than what you originally got, then that's the scores you're going to end up being with.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that happening to somebody who had their GCSEs remarked when I was at school. I think they got a B, and they thought they deserved an A, and it came back, and then they got a C in science, which is, worst case scenario, isn't it? One thing I've noticed is the re-evaluation window does seem quite short. I think it opened yesterday, the 26th, and it closes on Friday, the 29th. So, I guess speed is of the essence here. What should parents or students be doing first if they think perhaps, there has been a mistake and they do want stuff reevaluated?
So again, our teachers and our counselors are able to talk to the students and actually give them a very, very objective picture as to if they do think it is an opportunity for a student to apply for a reevaluation. You definitely have a track record. You have the internal exams and you have a track record with a learner. And if there is a discrepancy or a variation, then we definitely encourage the child. Because we look at the internal examination, we look at their track record from grade 9, grade 10 onwards. And if there's a disparaging gap between what they typically achieve to what these board examination scores have shown, then we definitely encourage them and support them. We support all our students who want to apply for in any case, but we definitely encourage and egg them on and saying, right, there might be an opportunity here where it hasn't been graded to the level that it should have been, and maybe there is an opportunity there where you should apply and get it reevaluated.
Yeah, and is that option open even over the Eid break? Pardon my ignorance, Punit. I'm just wondering, whether your schools are off, everyone's off, if students are worried.
Yeah, so that option is open over the Eid break. Schools in India typically have a shorter break, and the CBSE is based in India. So the system is a system, and it's open 24/7. So that opportunity is available. And bear in mind, it's not that students are just now being given a chance. Obviously, they have had time before the window opened to actually discuss with us, discuss with their parents, moot over the fact whether they actually do want to go for reevaluation. So the window might be for a three or 4 day period, but the results have been declared way in advance. And this is something that a lot of thought has rightly been put into by parents, students, and educators alike.
Okay, Punit Vasu, CEO of the Indian High School Group of Schools. Thank you so much for joining me on the agenda today.